Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? That was loud. My name's OMGWTF, LOLF to WBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We're playing as the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. Booking, you know, we all love it. The invasion angle. It's everyone's favorite. At least it is now. And we're going to be running Monday Night Raw. I'm excited about Monday Night Raw. You may not be able to tell that, but I am. Alright, let's cut that out. I don't know where you're going with that, but either way, let's run the show. I don't got much to fucking talk about. Am I feeling good? Better. My nose is still messing with me, and my throat still's got a little cough, but I'm doing better. I got me some Fanta today, so hashtag not sponsored by Fanta. And, yeah. There we have it. So we start off with the pre-show. I think this isn't our only pre-show match. For a second I thought it was. It is not. We have a abysmal pre-show match here where Hitchup, the team of Funaki and Al Snow, go on to defeat the local talent Aaron Aguilera and Vito La Grossa. Some of you may know who Vito La Grossa is. Big Vito, if you don't. And if you don't know who Big Vito is, I'm sorry. And some of you may know who Aaron Aguilera is. I don't. But I felt like him and Vito looked like they'd make good partners. So there you have that. But I'll tell you who didn't like Aaron Aguilera and Vito La Grossa. The crowd. Yeah, we'll get to this we'll get to that in a second. But Head Chop, of course, went on to defeat them when Funaki defeated Vito. Interesting. Defeated Vito La Grossa with the inverted DDT in 5 minutes, 51 seconds. In terms of in-ring work, of course, Al Snow was head and shoulders above everybody else, with Aaron Aguilera being the weak link. And like I said, vocal crowd didn't like Aaron Aguilera, and they were against Vito La Grossa, chanting for him to not come back. So, don't think we'll be. Jesus, a 10? We'll get to that in a second. Of course, the great performance of Al Snow really stood out. Look at Al Snow gaining some momentum, some steam with that 64 in-ring performance. Funaki, come on, bro. You could have gotten to a 50. I believe in you. 48, you're 2 points away. Impress me, buddy. Although, that's not too bad, but come on, Funaki. And then you have Vito with a 29 and Aaron Aguilera with a 10. Funaki's improving in performance, though, so there you have that. 49 D-plus match is not bad for them being totally against him, so Al Snow really carried this. So let's see if our next pre-show match can bring the crowd back up. Let's see if our next show match can bring the crowd back up. Oh, wow. Yeah, it definitely brought the crowd back up, nerds and geeks, as we go into a 72 B-minus. Bout that had decent wrestling. Of course, not much weight in heat. Raven, who is currently holding, he's not the champion, but he's currently holding on to the Canadian Championship as he stole it from Lance Storm because Storm refused to give him a title shot. And Raven's just taking on one of the Right to Censor members, Val Venis, tonight because why the hell not? Beat him with the pile driver. What is with Tommy Dreamer and Raven doing pile drivers when both their finishers are DDTs? What? Either way, Raven with a 73, Venus with a 55. I believe that was our main event of the pre-show. So let us move on to the opening act of the show. I lied to you. That was not our main event of the pre-show. I'm sorry. Our main event of the pre-show is a tag team match. That gets us a 74 B-minus. The Steiner brothers go on to defeat Rikishi and Scotty Too Hottie of Too Cool when Scott Steiner defeats Rikishi with the Steiner device. Oh, wow. Scotty didn't take the fall. Of course, Scott Steiner was head and shoulders above everyone else. Scotty was the weak link here. Scott's, of course, getting better at his gimmick, so good for him. Not enough selling shown, which is unfortunate. Steiner looked excellent out there. 99. Steiner, you need to cut it out. Rick with the 78. Scotty with a 50. Not too bad. Not too bad. Come on, Funaki. Look at Scotty. And then Rikishi with a 65. All right. So Scott Steiner needs to calm it down. Both Steiner brothers made improvements this week, as Rick improved in performance and Scott improved in technical. I I hadn't booked Rikishi in them in a while, so that's mainly the only reason why the Steiners are on here. It's not any particular reason. It's just I needed a team to beat them. Or a team for them to face, and the Steiners just show them perfectly. Either way, holy hell almighty, we start off the show with an A-star 100 Nerds and Geeks. Gotta love it when that happens. As we open up Monday Night Raw with the Texas Rattlesnakes, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and his protege Rhino making their way down to the ring, walking fast. I don't remember the lyrics to that song, or else that would have been great. Once in the ring, da-da-da-da-da-da, you know what I'm talking about. Austin takes the mic, and he begins to laugh with Rhino. They're having a good laugh. And then Austin says, I can't breathe. Triple H is so stupid. How stupid can the guy get? No matter how many times I put him down, he keeps getting back up for another beating. And now he thinks just because Rhino's unproven that he can take all his anger that I've caused him throughout the years. Oh, Rhino? Well, You see, this is why Triple H is stupid. Because Rhino and I are in the gym non-stop, eating our 12 meals a day. I'd imagine around this time, the fans are just going, what? Every time he says it. And drinking a lot of beer. So Rhino is in the best damn shape of his life. And just like every time you and I have stepped in the ring, Triple H, Rhino's going to do the same at No Mercy. That's when Triple H's music hits and out comes the game, of course, alongside his wife, Stephanie McMahon, who sits there and doesn't say anything because she likes to go unscripted. But sucks. But I'm not going to let that ruin my mood. I'm in a good mood today. Well, I am in a good mood now. But let's not talk about why I wasn't in a good mood earlier. So Triple H comes out and he says, Austin, I didn't know I was facing you at No Mercy. Did you ever teach your protege to grow a pair and talk for himself? Hold on. I think I actually forgot where I was going with this promo because I was talking to my buddy at this time. So let's see. I don't know where I was going with it. Let's see. Look at this. I'm moving this all around, and it's not going to where I can see where the promo was. I guess I can just move it over here, but that doesn't let me see Triple H's promo. There we go. Finally. Oh, then Yeah, I don't know where I was going for it pretty much, to be honest. But, hey, by the way, locker room incident. Taker passing along those tips to Mark Jindrak again, this time psychology. But Triple H thing goes on to say, because I really didn't know where I was going with this, so I ad-libbed here. Haha. Stupid. And he goes, or is the big bad Rhino too shy to talk in front of all these people? Ugh. And then Austin takes the mic again. He said, it ain't none of that. Rhino just prefers to do his talking in the ring, just like he's gonna do at No Mercy. And then Triple H says, you keep talking about No Mercy, but I see it differently, Steve, because at No Mercy, I'm going to expose not only Rhino as a wrestler, but you as a trainer. Because at No Mercy, I'm going to end Rhino once and for all. And then I'm going to end you, and then I'm going to get my damn title back. Then we have Commissioner Foley's music hits. Then he comes out and joins the fun, and he says, all right, that's enough. Triple H, you want Rhino so bad at No Mercy? Well, you got him in a Falls Count Anywhere match. But I can get the feeling that you don't want to wait. So how about I whet everyone's appetite? Because in tonight's main event, it'll be mentor and protege teaming up to battle Triple H and his tag team partner, the WWF champion, The Rock. And of course, Triple H, he's like complaining, what the hell? As, JR and King are like, what? What a main event tonight. Foley's just walking to the back and he says, have a nice day. And Triple H follows him to the back, obviously complaining that, he can get his way like normally. But what can you do? What can you do? Either way, Austin did, I had everyone go off script. Rhino wasn't on, radio entertainment, so it didn't matter. Austin did a masterful job Triple H enjoyed the freedom. Mick Foley was superb. Crowd was hot. Austin looked excellent. Triple H looked excellent. Foley looked good. Everything was just great. What a segment. As we move on to the official announcement as JR and King hype up that indeed in our main event tonight, Stone Cold Steve Austin will team up with his protege, Rhino, and take on the WWF champion, The Rock, and Triple H. So there you have that. As we move on to a quick backstage segment that gets a 73 B-. Before we go to the commercial break, we see Canyon and Hugh Morris from WCW, and they're just kind of casually walking into the arena, which isn't really like WCW guys. Usually they kind of run their way in or something like that, you know what I mean? So it's weird to see them just kind of casually walking in. But here they are, and then that's when Michael Cole approaches them and he says, "Excuse me, Canyon, Hugh, if I could have a moment of your time, I was wondering, why are you guys here? No offense, but this isn't Nitro. And I hope you take this as a compliment when I say that you two are actually one of the more level-heads guys in WCW." Then Candy says, "Well, thanks, Cole. No offense, but I'll tell you why I'm here. You see, Chris Jericho invited me for a match. He said he wanted to show DDP up by beating me like DDP did to me. Well, I'm here to show Jericho that I'm no one's stepping stone." And he walks off, presumably to the ring, as we get ready for our opening match of the night. Hugh Morris, though, is improving in acting, so you have that. Opening match of the night, good start. Solid 77 here, or not a solid 77, just a 77 solid B rating, I should say, as we go on to have a bout with great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, where Chris Jericho goes on to defeat Canyon in 9 minutes, 59 seconds by pinfall. And what did he use, you may ask? Well, I'd like to imagine he used none other than the Bang Diamond Cutter, using a little bit of a taunting to DDP here. My buddy Chris came up with that one. Jericho with a 91, calm down Jericho, and Canyon with the 76, holding his own. Not a heel turn, not yet. We're getting there, although we might get pegged for it. Wow! Monday Night Raw is killing it tonight. As I did like a Byron Saxton freaking wow there. Wow, that's great. There it is again. A-star once again with 100 rating as Jericho takes the mic after the match, and he's out of breath because, he was just in a grueling contest, and he says, "You see that, Grandpa Page? See what I did not only to the same man you beat a couple weeks ago, but a man you called your partner? Well, guess what, Senior? I saw your little rip-off show on Nitro. You want to be Jay Leno? Rock likes to accuse me of being a copycat, but you're just obvious. And then you had the audacity to challenge the great Chris Jericho to a match at No Mercy?" Which, by the way, I forgot to book in another match that we just confirmed a couple seconds ago. "Well, you just won the lottery, because I accept." And that goes on to confirm that, yes, we will see Jericho and DDP at No Mercy. And while the fans are cheering like, yeah, cool. But it's not because they're cheering because of that. It's all of a sudden because DDP's running through the crowd, jumps the barricade, slides in the ring, and Jericho, he thinks the fans are just chanting for him. And then finally he turns around to see DDP doing the bang taunt, the big ol' diamond cutter bang, I don't know what you want to call it. Hits the diamond cutter on Chris Jericho and just lays him out and leaves the arena pretty much. And gained heat for it. Look at that. Lawler was weak, unfortunate. DDP was good. DDP kills it, man. What a star. Not yet. What a segment. As we move on to another, this is a good show so far, man. We're getting solid ratings. Solid B here with an 82. Team Extreme, meaning Matt, Jeff, and Lita, are backstage, and that's when they're approached by the WWF Tag Team Champions Test and Albert, and of course Trish, and that's when she steps up and she says, "We're not here to fight. At least not yet." And I forgot to book in that other match. We got to do it right here. Because despite the post-match attack by Power Plant last week, you two are the number one contenders in our eyes. And we look forward to facing you at No Mercy. But I say, let's make things interesting tonight. You see, I see that there's 6 of us. 2 of us are females. I say let's give the fans what they really want. and face each other in a 6-man intergender tag team match. And who knows, maybe I'll get the pin on Lita here and earn myself a women's championship match in the future. Lita goes to step up, of course, but Matt backs her off and he says, "We'll see you out there." And that confirms that we will see a what would you call that? A 6 intergender tag team match? I don't know. I called it a 6-man intergender tag team match, which isn't really what it would be called either. Trish Stratus is getting better at her gimmick, and Lita was underwhelming apparently. Let's go ahead and book in those freaking matches now, shall we? So we confirmed that we will see a Falls Count Anywhere match. Where the hell is Did they have a Falls Count Anywhere match? They have like a House of Fun match. Would it be just like a street fight? No, that's a strap. What the hell? Where is it? No. I'm gonna have to create it, huh? How do you miss a Falls Count Anywhere match? How? I guess it would be an Aussie Rules match, so I'm just going to book it like that, but that's ridiculous. Falls Count Anywhere match. Not in the game. Rhino. There we have it. Triple H versus Rhino at No Mercy in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Boom. We also confirmed in Jericho DDP. So this show is starting to shape up. Not Benoit, but Diamond Dallas Page. So there we have that. Put in our companies, of course. And I'm not going to go and book the tag team title match because obviously we see here something else is going to be happening. But we haven't gotten to that point yet. Albert's learning to show more charisma. That's awesome. As we then move on from our commercial break to the intergender 6-person tag match, as we have another solid B here with a 77. Impressive. In a decent match here, TNA, Trish Stratus go on to draw with Team Extreme. In 11 minutes, 53 seconds, when the match descended into chaos after Lord Steven Regal, Mark Jindrak, and Sean Stasiak all came involved. Power Plant wasn't having any of this crap. Jeff Hardy, unfortunately, was really off his game. That's unfortunate. Stratus with a 58. That's impressive. Albert with a 75. Tess with an 81. Tess was the best person tonight. Golly, Tess. Usually it's the Hardys. Then again, Jeff was off his game. Lita with a 67. Did better than Trish. Lita's doing good, too. And Jeff with a 79. Matt with a 78. And there we have it. Matt's improving in technical. Trish is improving in performance. I didn't really do a post-match beatdown because I figured it kind of implies it. Even it just says right here, descended into chaos. I'm imagining that, Power Plant and Regal managed to gain the advantage, and also because they snuck in there. I can imagine someone kind of being a little protective. Maybe Matt trying to get the women out of the way. Either way, we come back from the commercial break. Again, I guess. Whatever. We're backstage. We're near the doctor's office. That's when Trish approaches Lita, who's there, because the Hardys are in the doctor's office right now. I guess they got the worst of it because Power Plant is mad that they were just, called the number one contenders. And Trish says, "Hey, how are the boys?" And Lita says, "Oh, they'll be fine. They'll be ready for No Mercy." It's kind of sappy, so that's why I didn't want to read it in a women's voice. Or I guess a softer tone voice, because I don't know how women-y or feminine my voice can be. Either way, the friendliness quickly goes away as Jacqueline comes out of nowhere, jumps Lita from behind, and starts beating her down like she's been doing for the past couple of weeks. But this time, Trish is there, and Trish jumps in and helps Lita, and Lita and Trish begin to team up and take Jackie on before chasing her off. Trish asks if Lita's okay. Lita says she is and thanks her. And there you have it. Gained heat for the Lita-Jackie feud, and Lita's improving in acting. Solid C rating from the women here. Good job, guys. 64, too. 64. Oh, my God, 64. Either way. 83 B+. Hell yeah, that's what I like to see from you guys. We're backstage. We're with Edge and Christian. And Christian comes up to Edge and he says, Well, I imagine he walks up to Edge, and Edge kind of just looks at him like all angry, like, what the hell are you doing here? And then Christian says, look, man, I can apologize for last week. And I know due to the current circumstances, it may seem like I did that on purpose. But I want to prove to you that I did it. So I went ahead and talked to Commissioner Foley, and I got him to put me in a match against Chuck Palumbo to teach him a lesson tonight. And then Edge steps up and says, Christian, are you crazy? Chuck's going to try and injure you after we embarrassed him last week. I'm coming out there with you, man. And then Christian says, no, you're not. This is something I got to do myself, and if I get injured, then that's just my punishment for last week. I'm sorry, bro. And he just walks off as Christian's looking to amend for his sins, I guess. Maybe he's not as bad as we thought he was. Edge came across well and gained heat for their feud. As we move on to the next segment, getting a 76 B-, probably the worst match we're going to have tonight, although we haven't got to the main event. Decent match. Christian goes on to defeat Chuck Palumbo with a quick roll-up after a distraction from Kurt Angle. So Kurt Angle was on commentary for this match, and I'd imagine Chuck Palumbo getting a little cocky during it and starts pointing at Kurt, taunting him and all that. And that's when Christian rolls him up real quick, maybe even grabs the tights because he's a little scoundrel. 1, 2, 3. Christian wins the match and beats Chuck Palumbo just like his brother did last week. Christian with a 78, Chuck with a 74. Chuck is improving in performance. As we move on to the next segment, getting a 89 solid A rating. Why? That's awesome. Match is over. Chuck Palumbo's pissed. He just lost again, but this time Christian cheated to beat him. And, he's pretty much just seeing red right now, as that's two weeks in a row he just lost to both Edge and Christian now. And he jumps Christian from behind, who's all celebrating, and he just starts beating him down, but Kurt throws off the headset, gets in the ring, and he goes right after Palumbo. Palumbo don't care. He and Kurt start brawling back and forth, trading blows. Kurt starts getting the better once again, sends him out of the ring. Chuck starts running away again, and that's when Kurt takes the mic and he says, let me take a drink real quick. Then, after he says, let me take a drink real quick, he goes on to say, I've had enough of you running away whenever I get my hands on you. You know deep down, Chuck, that without Stacy, you're nothing. And at No Mercy, I'm going to prove that. Because there will be no Stacy, which doesn't make sense, if I'm being honest, and nowhere to run. Because at No Mercy, it'll be Kurt frickin' Angle versus Chucky Palumbo in a steel frickin' cage match. See you at No Mercy. Woo! Even taunting Ric Flair at the end there as Kurt makes it official. We will indeed see at No Mercy, despite Chuck Palumbo and Stacy being none too happy about the announcement, a steel cage match. Where the hell? It's not a steel cell, is it? No. It would just be a... Is it just cage? Okay, it is just cage. Pinfall, submission, cage escape. Yeah, that's pretty much the one we want to do. Even though I prefer doing cage escape, but... Nah. That's the one that's popular. That's the one WWE would do. So that's the one we're going to do. So, steel cage match. Kurt Angle, representing the WWF, versus Chuck Palumbo, representing WCW. This show is shaping up. Look at all these matches we got confirmed. Hell yeah. Looking good. Gained heat as well. Oh, of course it did. I mean, it's an A segment. We then move on to our next segment that gets a 74 B-, mostly because Cole. Undertaker, he's starting up his bike. When Michael Cole approaches him, he says, excuse me, dead man, before you leave, I was wondering if I could get a word on, your brother's Kane's return. As we saw on Nitro, it was teased. And then Taker says, well, I'm happy and all for little brother. I got my own business to handle. And he drives off, presumably running over Michael Cole's foot again, because why not keep that gag going? And then that will lead us back from our commercial as we go on to another A-star segment with a 95. Hell yeah. Taker's music hits, keep rolling as he, once again, races down to the ring, into his yard, gets with the mic, and he says, well, it seems Chris Benoit and Ric Flair have accepted my challenge for No Mercy. and that's fine by me. But Chris, since you are like, you say you are going to get the job done, why don't we make this a little more interesting? You see, Chris, you hold on to a title that belongs to the WWF, and it just so happens to be the one championship that has eluded me my entire career here in the WWF, and that's the Intercontinental Championship. So, Chris, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and put that belt on the line? Or should I be asking Ric Flair this question? Because it seems to me that since you've had Flair as your manager, you've turned into a little bitch. So, champ, you got the stones to accept my challenge, or is Uncle Flair going to tell you otherwise? Oh, and by the way, I'm not leaving my yard until I get my answer. So Taker's pouncing around in the yard, waiting for Chris Benoit, waiting for Ric Flair to come out. And we move on to that. What the hell? I thought I deleted all this. Whatever. As Chris Benoit's music hits, and out comes the WWF Intercontinental Champion and his mentor, Ric Flair. Flair goes to take the mic, but Benoit puts his hand over it, and he takes it from him, and he says, "You can go to the back, Rick. I've got this." And then Flair says, Are you sure? "Yeah, I'm sure." "You know, I don't really think this is a good idea, Chris." And then Benoit looks at him and goes, "I didn't ask you what you think. I asked you to go to the back." And Flair just looks at him and he says, "All right." And he goes to the back. And he looks back at Taker and he says, "You say I can't talk for myself, huh? Well, here I am. You don't scare me, Taker. And your yard just so happens to be in my ring. And come no mercy, I'm taking it back. Along with the ever-growing bounty that is still growing on your head. But you want the Intercontinental Championship?" And he holds up the Intercontinental title. And he says, "You want this?" And he goes, "Well, come get it." And he just drops the title on the ground, completely disrespecting it. And he goes, "I don't care about it anyway. The Intercontinental Championship is a prop to me. A nice little bragging right that I get to rub in the face of every single WWF superstar anytime I see them. So you want the title? Then fine, at No Mercy, it's on the line. But it's going to be funny, Taker. The one title that eluded you throughout your entire career is going to lead to the end of your career. Because at No Mercy, you will make me famous after I make you cripple." And then Benoit throws the mic down, walks into the back, and it's official. We will see Taker and Chris Benoit at No Mercy, and it will be for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. So yet another match gets booked in, Nerds and Geeks. As, like I just said, The Undertaker will battle Chris Benoit. WWF Intercontinental, did I spell it right? Yep. Championship. The Undertaker, of course, representing the WWF. Who else? And Chris Benoit, of course, is the champion and represents WCW. There we have it. Yet another match. Benoit unfortunately performed poorly, but Taker carried it because he was good. There you have it. Moving on to the next segment, get another A-star 98 rating. Before we go to commercial break, Rock is backstage, and he has something to say before his match, and he says, "Finally, The Rock has come back to OMG WTF LOF TWBRB's YouTube channel." Okay, he would probably say to Oklahoma, but either way. And what a night it is to be back, because The Rock gets to lay the smackdown on not one, but two animals tonight, and it won't be the monkey's ass The Rock's kicking. Oh no, he puts the special boots on tonight, because it's snake season. Or is it rhino season? You know, I can't remember, the sign kept changing on the way here, but that doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is that The Rock has shined his boots real nice to kick both a rattlesnake and a rhino's ass, and Triple H's ass isn't that hard to carry on the way. So if you smell, you know what I'm trying to do. Well, The Rock is cooking, and he does like a quick little segment just to put over the match, and there you have it. Of course, he was great. It's The Rock. What do you expect? As if we come back from our commercial break to the main event, getting a solid B to end off the show with an 80 rating, none too shabby, in an exceptional match. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rhino go on to defeat Triple H and The Rock when Austin defeated Triple H with the Stone Cold Stunner. Unfortunately, Rhino was the weak link here, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance, but that was to be expected, to be honest. I'd imagine the finish going around here is Austin, maybe gets Triple H out of the ring or something, hits him with a stunner, but Triple H rolls out of the ring. Rock comes back in the ring and starts beating down on Austin, taking his chance, hitting him with the right, rock bottom, going for the people's elbow. But here comes Rhino with the gore, hitting Rock, taking him out. And that's when Triple H slides back in the ring, goes directly after Rhino, sees his enemy, but while he's going after Rhino, Austin seizes the day, grabs Triple H by his oily hair, turns him around, kicks him in the gut, Stone Cold Stunner, 1, 2, 3, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rhino win the match. Rock was off his game, unfortunately, apparently, or seemed off his game. Rhino with a 78. I wish that was a little better, but probably were outshined by a lot of them. Austin with 100, hell yeah. Rock with a 98, and Triple H with a 94. It did lose heat for all the feuds. That's unfortunate, because I bet they were, killing it. Either way, the show ends with a solid A rating, getting a 91, increasing our popularity in 16 regions, as we get to look at Mascara Sagrada, not Masquerita. Ooh, watered down Fanta, my favorite. Fantastic reviews. Kazuni Mukurkarami takes a MMA fight. Doesn't work for anyone, so it doesn't bother. Apparently, so is oh my lord, sorry guys. Masasuki Narusi, I think. Who is also taking an MMA fight, but works for no one, so, again, doesn't matter. And Benoit, once again, is the best brawler in wrestling, which a lot of people are going to be upset about, because I know a lot of people were a little upset, not upset, but they kind of gave me a little heat about letting Benoit off. I don't intend to let Benoit off, we just got a few things we need to resolve before we can punish Chris Benoit, or at least see if he can redeem himself. Because as you see, he doesn't get popped, so it's kind of like, is it that an issue? I don't know. Scotty Too Hottie doesn't connect with the fans, in my opinion. The kid is a little upside, says Stone Cold Steve Austin. Harsh. But you may be right. Either way, though, that's going to be the end of this episode as we look at our storylines. Jericho and DDP with a solid A. Hell yes. Edge and Christian with a B-. Kurt and Chuck with a solid B. Hell yeah. Jackie and them still can't get out of that F range. That's unfortunate. We didn't do anything with that. Austin and Rock, that's unfortunate. They went down to an 85B because of that match. It's a B- right there. Taker and Benoit got an A, and Triple H and Rhino with a B, so unfortunate. Either way, though, Nerds and Geeks, that's going to be the end of Hello? Alright. Well, this is an interesting ending. I really need to invest in a new headset. Maybe next paycheck. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.